It's Divas That Care Radio. Stories, strategies, and ideas to inspire positive change. Welcome to Divas That Care, a network of women committed to making our world a better place for everyone. This is a global movement for women, by women, engaged in a collaborative effort to create a better world for future generations. To find out more about the movement, visit divasthatcare.com after the show. Right now, though, stay tuned for another jolt of inspiration.
Welcome, everyone, to the Divas That Care Network and another dynamic, informative episode of Words That Work, True Self Shining. I'm your host, Naomi McDonald, an animal communicator, light body worker, author, and teacher, dedicated to using words, exercises, stories, to help change lives. And today, we're going to blend the law of attraction and mysticism or light body work. And it might just help you understand why sometimes the law of attraction doesn't quite work like we think it should, or understand that we are creating and attracting everything that we experience into our lives, and that it all has a purpose. So let's go to the light body, our light body. What is our true self that can shine through? And that takes me back to my training, the Four Winds Healing the Light Body School. When Alberto Villoldo said, anyone entering the healing arts, no matter what that it is, whether it is Reiki, a counselor, therapy, psychology, shamanism, has one goal, one priority that they must accomplish. And that is not to see the person in front of you or with you asking for help as a victim of a genetic disease or Mandalay, not as broken from a past trauma, not as guilty from a perceived wrongdoing. It is your sole and only job to see your client as courageous because they chose to come into a lifetime. See your clients as worthy, as deserving of perfect health, of great relationships, of prosperity, because everything is a reflection. And in order to help your client see through and remove the layers that are holding them back, it's our job to first see them as they truly and really are. And that is dynamic, beautiful beings having the perfect learning experience here on University Earth. And I like to think about the word namaste, which means the God in me sees the God in you. Or the movie Avatar and the blue people and the God tree. And when they look in someone's eyes and say, I see you, they're not seeing the surface or what they're doing. They're seeing the beauty inside that this person that is carrying and still connected to the God tree. So even though that is phenomenal in itself, let's go to, okay, the light body. Where is that light body and what does it originate and what is it for and why do I have it? And so think of yourself before you came into any lifetime. This one, they're all happening at the same time, so it really doesn't matter. We can refer to them as past lives, but before we incarnated into a lifetime, we are pure energy. We are pure thought. We are light an electromagnetic frequency. And that electromagnetic frequency has different levels, sets at different levels of creation. And hardwired into our DNA, we can't avoid it, is the need to create and the need to evolve. We are created by an absolute loving creator. And in that realm of thought, sometimes we are vibrating at a frequency of, let's say, 3. But there is a frequency of 12 that is attainable. And we really are hardwired. It really is important to create a higher frequency for ourselves. And in order to do that, the catalyst of evolution is emotion. Emotion is the energetic catalyst that changes us, that helps us evolve. And so in that realm, there is no bad emotion. It is all simply emotion. And every bit of it has value. So I like to think of it after we've made the decision to come to Earth because we want to evolve. Let's say we have a powwow with our soul group. And in that soul group, we decide who's going to be our parents, who's going to be our daughters, who's going to be our pets. We choose our pets. They synchronistically choose us and come into us with a purpose. My daughter laughingly says, "Oh, mother, I know I've been your mother more than mine, more than you've been mine." I love that. So we have our cast of characters. And I don't know, we don't take a deep breath because we don't have a body to breathe with yet. And do we muster up? Do we come up with the muster to come into a lifetime? But we do embrace the courage, the ultimate courage of being born into a physical existence in third dimensional Mother Earth. So I'd like to say that again. We have the courage to commit to a physical experience in the third dimensional University of Earth school. And along with the physical body that is Earth, about 25% of that energy, of that ball of light, of that electromagnetic being of who we are, joins our physical presence on the inside and on the outside, as some people call it an aura, or our luminous energy field. And when it comes in, it has any old traumas that we wish to let go of. It has all the memories of our lifetimes. And it has also the memories of what we want to create for ourselves here. So let's go to the analogy of a movie with an absolutely non-judgmental, pure love observer that is the 25% of us that stays in spirit. And it is doing just that. It's observing the movie of our life, full well knowing that it will take, and the characters in our lives will feel emotion, will have trauma, will have experiences that you are showing, not telling that they're supposed to have that experience so they can fully engage. That's what a good story is, right? The movie. But the beautiful part of here is a movie that we might watch at the theater or on our televisions has a pre-scripted ending too. Our movies in our lifetimes can change and shift and grow depending on our understanding and the choices that we make in this lifetime. And being a very visual person, I think of that higher aspect of myself, and it's up there kind of directing my life. And I think of my border collie, Luke, that I wrote the book, Away to Me, My Love, A Sheepdog's Tale of Two Lives. And it came to the time in my lifetime, and my higher self looked over at this beautiful creature and says, okay, I know you've been with this one before. This time she's female, or it's female, and have a lot of fun. You have a big purpose, my young, beautiful dog, and it's going to be a bumpy ride. So let's go to, now we have the understanding of our light body, of what it does. And we asked ourselves sometimes, well, what if I fail? What if I don't become the heroine of our story, of my story? What if I can't get past this? And here's the kicker, is that that observer has no judgment whatsoever. It is pure beauty and understanding and love. And since it absolutely knows what we came to learn, if we don't get it one time, it will bring us another one. We'll repeat the same relationship with the same person. We will have another illness on top of another illness. Or no matter what we do, we can't create a financial independence for ourselves. And really, that's the way it should be. That's what we agreed to when we came here. And so let's now bring in the law of attraction. Because the law of attraction, although beautiful and absolutely right and correct, is that you have to be happy to make more happy in your life. You have to be grateful. And so if there's something that you want in your life, feel yourself having it and be grateful for it. And soon you will have it. And that there's not a false statement in that, other than if we have subconscious beliefs that are holding us back, if we have old trauma that we haven't dealt with, looked at, understood the purpose of, and we try to cover those up and find happiness, we're not going to be fulfilling the true purpose of being here. And that's when we fail to create what we try so hard to create by modifying false emotion. And so, okay, I don't want to modify false emotion. What do I do about that? And that's where meditation comes in, listening to the still small voice comes in. And many say, but I try to meditate. I can't meditate. I can't get that place of consciousness. I have 1,000 chattering monkeys in my mind. But a solution to that is guided meditation. There's a guided meditation for your true self on my website. on my YouTube channel, there's a plethora of guided meditations. And so a guided meditation helps us through intention turn up the dial of our radio frequency and allows us to connect with that aspect of ourselves that stayed in spirit, that knows our purpose and why we're here, and knows that we can't fail in that purpose. And so every time we might just even take a second and think who I truly am, my spirit, that who guides me. Please show me the purpose for this experience. Every single time you do that, it's like illuminating the umbilical cord between you and your higher self, because I need to have a visual, you and your higher self, and you're bringing in more light, more understanding, more non-judgment, and more beauty. And just for the sheer fact that we set our intention of asking the purpose for the feelings and for the experiences, many of us don't hear that. I mean, I would love it if they told us. But any good writer, I'm going to repeat it, knows that you show, don't tell. So the higher aspect of ourselves will begin to synchronistically bring experiences to us that shows us the way. And gosh, that can be our dreams. Sometimes we might have a real impactful, uncomfortable dream to get our intention. Sometimes it'll bring an animal to us that opens our heart to so many things and gives us the reflection of love that we need. And in that reflection, we begin to open our hearts and love ourselves. There are so many of these episodes that I have planned for that will help us embrace those things. But for our purposes right now, and going back to the law of attraction, is the highest vibrational energy is gratitude. And the law of attraction is absolutely perfect when it says, feel that you have it already and the gratitude for it, and you will create it. But the contradiction, I want to go back to any emotions that we're subconsciously shoving down. So what if our perception of good and bad and good emotions went at least to neutral? And we found the reasons and the purposes for the experiences that let us feel lack, that let us be unhealthy, that let us be depressed. And through the process of that soul connection with our higher self, we understood and recognized the purpose. And we could look at the experience, we could look at the animal, the person that created that experience for our benefit, and fully and absolutely we're grateful. We're grateful. And we use those experiences of our old stories not as a crutch or a piece that holds us back. We create new stories from them. And like Alberto said, We can create new bodies. We can create unlimited abundance, and we can create the relationships that we want in our lives. And so that is where our light body and the law of creation can fold together to bring an absolutely new experience into our lives. And so for today, I would like you who are cooking, and maybe you who are driving, and you who are doing dishes or sitting quietly, thank you for being here today. And from my heart to yours, namaste. I see the beauty, I see the light, and I invite you to see that from all and within of our brothers and sisters here on some level of the same journey on University Earth. And bye for now.
Thanks for listening. This show was brought to you by Divas That Care. Connect with us on Facebook, on Instagram, and of course on divasthatcare.com, where you can subscribe to our newsletter so you don't miss a thing.